So you want to run for president? I'm Jon Deer for Blob Law, and today we talk about running for president of the United States of America. Can anyone run for president? The answer provides facts about our political system that may surprise you. The story begins with the Constitution of the United States, Article 2, Section 1, Qualifications for President. There are only two. First, you have to be at least 35 years old, and second, you must be a natural-born citizen. That means you have to be born here. About 13% of the U.S. population is foreign-born, so they are out. About one-third of the rest are younger than 35, so they are out. If you've made it this far, you are eligible to run for president, but that's just the beginning of the story. You're required to register with the Federal Elections Commission. Most candidates prefer to test the waters before they actually register their candidacy. When you're testing the waters, you're allowed to begin raising money for a possible candidacy before a firm decision is made to run. During this time, you may not refer to yourself as a candidate. When you're ready to start calling yourself a candidate, you must fill out this one-page form and send it to the Federal Election Commission. Filing is free, so it won't cost you a dime to register. You can even fill it out online if you prefer. Congratulations, you are now running for president. As of the end of 2014, 138 people had already registered for candidacy in the 2016 election. The first person to register did so all the way back in 2008. So is that all there is to running for president? Filling out a simple form and filing it for free? Not really. The big issue is ballot access. Ballot access means getting your name on the ballot. In the United States, either your name is pre-printed on the ballot or you are a write-in candidate. In this country and a few others, voters have the right to write in any eligible candidate onto the ballot, whether it is printed there or not. Voters sometimes use the privilege to register protest votes. Write-in candidates rarely win any election. In a general election for president, no write-in candidate has ever won. That means when it comes to presidential campaigns, if your name is not printed on the ballot, you have essentially no chance of winning at all. In other words, if you're a write-in candidate, you're not really running for president at all. So how do you get your name on the ballot? Article 2 of the Constitution provides that each state will select electors who then vote for president, and that each state gets to determine how to select its electors. This is the complicated Electoral College system, which we can save for another day. In practical terms, it means that the state decides which candidates to put on their ballots. And each state has its own criteria. For example, in Minnesota, independent candidates have to get 2,500 signatures in a very short time frame. In Tennessee, they only need 275 signatures, but they also have to arrange for a full slate of 11 electors to support them. In South Dakota, any number of other states, independents are required to get between 1% and 3% of the number of voters that voted in the last election. In other words, for an independent candidate to mount a viable campaign, they must meet the individual requirements of each of the 50 states. The practical effect of this ballot access scheme is to make effective ballot access virtually impossible for most independent candidates. In 1975, George H.W. Bush signed the Helsinki Accords on behalf of the United States. These accords provided in part that all signatories will respect the right of citizens to seek political or public office individually or as representatives of political parties or organizations without discrimination. The document was intended to encourage the Soviet Union to hold fair elections. But the United States has long been criticized by European intergovernmental organizations for violating the accord with our harsh ballot access laws. The United States denies that we're violating the accord, which is non-binding in any event. It was never ratified as a treaty and is merely a statement of policy. So the answer to the question, can you run for president, is that it would be really, really hard. If you like this episode, please share it. That's what keeps us alive. You can also check out our Facebook page and mostly subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jon Deer for Blob Law. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.